Working for the Kardashian empire sounds like a dream job. Being amongst all that money, glamour, and fame must be amazing, right? Well, that's only the case if you don't mind following rules, and a lot of them. Keep watching until the end to discover how Kim's makeup artist went above and beyond with his service to the star. To see more videos like this on the taco, hit the subscribe button. Jewelry ban. When you hear that there's a jewelry ban at Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's mansion, you probably wonder what could possibly be the reason. Are they worried about their staff looking more bling than them? You might think that it's a really weird rule to create, but when you cast your mind back to the robbery in Paris, it starts to make sense. Kim doesn't want anything valuable at her home, as she doesn't want it to be a target for thieves. While it's unlikely that their staff are going to be wearing jewels worth millions, Kim and Kanye don't want to risk it. So there's a big house rule that essentially says no jewelry allowed here. Always look good. Hands up if you want the inside scoop on being a Dash doll. That's everyone then. And lucky for us, the ladies that work closely with Kim, Khloe, and Kourtney Kardashian at their Dash boutique in LA have dished on what life's really like. And if you're representing the Kardashians, then your standards have to be just as high as that famous family's. Dash doll Taylor Kukwa revealed to E! News, you have to have high standards. But what exactly does that mean? Dash doll Stephanie De Souza explained that you need to look good all the time. Talk about pressure. Never forget. It's inevitable that you'll make a few slip-ups when you're at work, but when you work for the Kardashians, you can bet any little mistake will get picked up, even if you didn't even realize you messed up in the first place. Dash doll Caroline Burt knows only too well that you can't get away with anything when you're employed by the Kardashians. She revealed, you'll forget something and you won't even know it, but you'll get in trouble for it. If that sounds hardcore, then how about getting in trouble for things that aren't even your fault? We're tackling that one next. Take the blame. There always needs to be a fall guy when something goes wrong for the Kardashians, and you can bet it's going to be one of their staff members, even when they're not to blame. Kim's assistant since 2013, Stephanie Shepard, knows a thing or two about that. A little while after being promoted to COO of Kardashian West Brands in 2017, Stephanie left the Kardashian empire at Kim's decision. But Stephanie knows better than most what it's like to work for the fam, and she revealed in an interview with Refinery 29 that as an assistant, you have to take the fall when the car doesn't show up or the flight is delayed or something goes wrong. Always prepared. The Scouts' motto of "be prepared" might as well be written to the contracts of the Kardashian staff. You always have to be one step ahead of the game, just in case. So that means preempting any requests before you're even asked, or having the right things with you just in case they're needed. Case in point, merchandise. Kim's former assistant, Stephanie, always had a trunk fully stocked with Kimoji paraphernalia. That's because, as Stephanie revealed, with Kim, you never know when you might need to gift some merch. Don't procrastinate. When you're working for the Kardashian Jenners, you can forget about doing things your way. You have to follow their example and behave the same way as them. And that includes taking on all of their opinions and attributes. For example, you definitely can't put things off. Stephanie spoke about her huge respect for Kris Jenner and all the lessons that the matriarch taught her. And the biggest lesson Kris taught Stephanie was to not procrastinate. When you want something done, get it done. If you're a procrastinator, this is not the world for you. Do the same tasks again and again. By that same token, if you work for the Kardashians, then you need to be willing to complete tasks in exactly the way they ask. A source told Radar Online that Khloe doesn't lift a finger at her house. She just barks orders at her assistant and housekeepers to have the cookies and other goodies displayed so that they will look good on camera. But what happens if it's not done right, which basically means if it's not done the exact way Khloe wants, then she's going to make them all do it over again. Be micromanaged. You'd think that the Kardashians would be happy to just let their staff get on with their jobs, but that's not necessarily the case for Kourtney, according to a former housekeeper. The ex-employee dished on what it was like to work for the Kardashians, and she had quite a bit to say about Kourtney. She claimed that the eldest of the sisters was really overprotective of her kids. She was always asking the babysitters what they were up to and micromanaging them. She added that she could tell it was hard for Kourtney to let them do their jobs. She added, Kourtney is always on the intercom, telling them where the next mess that needs to be cleaned up is. Follow precise instructions. It's no surprise to hear that the Kardashians want things done in a very specific way. Of course, how their staff look after their kids is very important. But did you know that clothing is also of utmost importance? Specifically, how they're put away. If you want to work for Kim, then you need to be prepared to follow her very particular view on how she wants sweaters folded. A source revealed that when a staffer didn't fold the sweaters up to Kim's standards, Kim took a sweater right out of the middle of the stack, completely messing up what was just done. Prioritize the closet. Speaking of clothing, Kim's closet is of utmost importance. So if you work for her, you've got to be on board with the general view that Kim's closet is the holy land in their house. That involves it looking pristine at all times. Obviously, she doesn't do this herself. Kim has been known to get her staffers to stay late at night to organize after returning from an event, because we all know that an untidy closet just simply cannot wait until morning, right? It really is like the Kardashians live on another planet sometimes. Take notes. As the Kardashians want things done in a very specific way, you need to be paying attention to all the details when you're given instructions. Kim's former assistant, Stephanie, has a top tip for anyone who wants to be a great assistant, and that is to take notes. When you're given instructions, always write it down. Stephanie adds, even if you think you're going to remember it in your head, you're not. So just make a note of what you're being told to do. As Stephanie says, it's not that hard. Do things not in your job description. You'd think that being a housekeeper for the Kardashian Jenners would be a fairly straightforward, if not highly pressured job. But Kylie Jenner's housekeeper does more than just tidy and clean. She also carries out tasks that couldn't possibly be on any other housekeeper's job description. She lets Kylie use her arms as lip color swatches. Kylie told Fast Company that she uses her housekeeper's arm for her Snapchats when she's releasing a product, and that's because she has the best arm for swatches. Kylie revealed she's so nice and just sits there and has her arm ready and lets me do my thing. Stay calm. The Kardashians lead pretty crazy lives, but if you work for them, then you need to be able to keep a cool head. As staff, you have to be the steady rock that holds it together when things get real. Like when Kim got robbed in Paris. Kim's assistant at the time, Stephanie, admitted that the experience was terrifying. However, she couldn't panic. She had to hold it together and make sure everything was getting handled. It was her responsibility to get Kim home as quickly and safely as possible. Work late. As we already have seen, Kardashian-Jenner staff members have to go above and beyond time and time again, so it's not really surprising that they're expected to work late too. Kylie Jenner's assistant, Victoria Villarreal, revealed what it's like to be on call all the time in a video shared on Kylie's app. Victoria dished, "To be a personal assistant, it has to be 24/7. She added that she's always open, so Kylie can call her at 2 a.m. and she'll answer. She doesn't have to have set hours because it's pretty much whenever duty calls. Her duties include stocking Kylie's home with her favorite things and making sure everything looks perfect. Be on call 24/7. Because the Kardashians work all the time, they expect their staff to do so also. As Kim's former assistant, Stephanie, points out, Kim's never really taken a break. She's the hardest working person, both her and Kanye. But after the Paris robbery, they all took some time off and regrouped. And that was seriously unheard of. When they all got back to their hectic lives, Stephanie did allow herself an hour off the grid, now and then, to go to yoga class. But she'd still need to text Kim and her assistant Michael to let them know her exact whereabouts. Give up your personal life. When you're working for the Kardashians, they're your priority, so you can forget about having your own life. You'll be too busy for any of that. Like a relationship of your own. Stephanie revealed that she didn't date anyone at all for the first 2 years working with Kim, because there just wasn't any time. When she met a DJ who worked with Kanye, it didn't work out because they were both too busy. Stephanie admits that being too busy for love must sound so bad, and it definitely does. Walk behind. You'll see plenty of paparazzi pictures of the Kardashians, particularly Kim, with their entourages walking behind them. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a rule. If you're going to work for the family, then you're going to need to get used to walking in their shadows, literally, particularly if you're a bodyguard. In fact, it's such a feature of their lives that Kim's even joked about it on Twitter. She shared a photo of herself with her bodyguard at the time, Pascal Duvier, in the background in October 2016, with the caption, "This guy is always in my shot." Look after pets. If you don't like pets, then you won't want to work for the Kardashians. The family are often seen with their beloved pets, but they don't necessarily do everything for their furry friends themselves. The less enjoyable aspects of being a pet owner, like feeding them, cleaning them, and taking them for walkies, are typically handed over to staff members. And that's not official dog walkers or people who are specifically trained to look after animals. That's just their regular assistants, nannies, and housekeepers. Look after the kids. It's not just the nannies who take care of the kids. All the staff are expected to prioritize the youngest members of the family and to help out by looking after the kids whenever called upon to do so, even though it's not actually their job to. But some staff members, like Kim's former assistant Stephanie, see this as a positive situation. She claims that everyone who works for the Kardashian family is part of this little tribe: assistants, makeup artists, housekeepers, security. They take care of all the kids like they're our own kids. Go above and beyond. As we've seen time and time again in this video, Kardashian staff members have to go above and beyond what would be expected of anyone else doing their job. The housekeepers who have to double up as lipstick swatches, the assistants who have to walk dogs and look after kids, the boutique staff who have to look immaculate all of the time. But surely Kim's makeup artist, Mario Dedivanovic, is one of the most committed staff members who goes above and beyond. Like the time he had to make up Kim's behind as well as her face for a red carpet appearance. Talk about dedication to the family. Which of these rules is the most ridiculous? Let us know in the comments, and please give this video a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching.